It's Friday edition, Orange and Blue today. Cecil and Mase, Andrew Mason, and we do have some clarity now on the Broncos situation with linebacker Dre Greenlaw. With the Friday injury report, Mase, we get to know who's in and who's out.
It's clarity, but it's not clarity that Broncos fans want to see. No doubt about that, both with Dre Greenlaw and Malcolm Roach. Here we are, week one, and we're talking about a couple of key players who aren't going to be out there on Sunday. Dre Greenlaw, still injured, and a DNP on Friday, and out. Already ruled out for Sunday. So the concerns about Dre Greenlaw coming off of missing nearly all of last year, dealing with the quad injury back in the spring, tweaking his quad on July 31st in training camp. The concerns just aren't going away.
Not going away and facing a team in the Tennessee Titans where stuff in the run is what you're going to want to do. And now without Roach and Greenlaw out there, it's a cause for concern. So the handy-dandy title of our show, How Do They Survive Without Dre Greenlaw? Good thing Justin Strnad got a lot of experience last year and looked good until Riley Moss got hurt.
Yeah, it looked fine, was able to hold the fort, and so now you're asking him to go out there, and you're going to have Alex Singleton next to him as well. Remember last year, he had Cody Barton next to him, and Barton brought in to provide something better in coverage. He wasn't brought in to be a stout run defender. So start off with that. And, of course, Cody Barton, you're going to see Sunday, but you're going to see him in the opposite uniform, of course, playing for the Tennessee Titans. So I think he'll hold up better alongside Alex Singleton. Like you mentioned, Strnad really got exposed down the stretch once Riley Moss was out, and that was kind of the thread that sort of was pulled and unraveled everything for the Broncos defense. And also remember, you had PJ Locke, who, as we later learned, was playing injured as well on the back end. And now you're going to have Talanoa Hufanga back there at safety, providing support against the run alongside Brandon Jones. You're also going to have some sub packages we expect that involve Jahdae Barron coming in. We know how aggressive he can be as well. So you expect that Justin Strnad will have a considerable amount more support than he did last year, and that hopefully will help him out.
Yeah, hopefully will help him out. Last time we saw the Broncos in a game that counted, James Cook and the Bills ran all over him. So
yeah,
without Roach, without Greenlaw, okay, just be strong against the run. Deal with the rookie quarterback that will be relentless in what he does, but make sure you're strong against Tony Pollard and even Ward when he takes off to run.
Yeah, and I mean, you can kind of look at Strnad and say, okay, the Broncos, they wanted Greenlaw for a reason. I mean, they could have just, if they were satisfied with Strnad, they could have signed him back to be the starter. But they sought Greenlaw. But they brought Strnad back into the room. They wanted his presence. They wanted him for special teams, but they were perfectly fine with him providing depth. So it's not like they didn't want him back. They just didn't want him in that specific role of starting, but they were fine with him providing depth. And here's Sean Payton today talking about Justin Strnad.
Well, number one, we knew he was a real good special teams player. So the vision of being able to play inside, play teams, you want to answer the question, how many snaps is he going to play if he's linebacker 3? Obviously, if he's linebacker 2. And so once you get past your starters, these guys got to contribute in the kicking game. And I would say he's got real good football IQ.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Strnad. He's not going to be out of position because he doesn't understand what's going on in front of him.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Sean Payton got to the football IQ thing there at the end, and one of the things the Broncos prize, especially in this administration, they prize players who know where they're supposed to be. A way to find yourself out of favor real fast is not being where you're supposed to be. They want players who can think on their feet, but there isn't room for freelancing, right? They don't want you hurting the ball club, basically. They want players who are sticking to their roles within the scheme, trusting that everyone else is going to do their job, but making sure that they're taking care of what they're doing, what their task is. And that's something that Sternad does. Smart player, but is where he is supposed to be. Sticks to the job asked of an inside linebacker in this defense. Can help get everybody set up pre-snap. And that's another thing as well. Your two guys at inside linebacker, they're responsible for kind of making sure everybody is good to go. They're responsible for helping diagnose things pre-snap. They help the defensive line identify things. And that's something that Sternad can do very well. So, along with Alex Singleton. So,
right.
He may not be the stoutest of guys at inside linebacker, especially against the run. I mean, again, backups are backups for reasons, but there are things that he can do well, and you're just trying to kind of, emphasize what he does well and mask the other things. And again, I think he'll probably do a bit better with Alex Singleton next to him, which was a luxury that he did not have last year when he was out there on the field.
Yeah, Singleton can help carry some of that load at ILB, but my brain goes, well, wait a second. Wasn't that long ago they were talking about Singleton on a snap count? Does this increase that snap count because Greenlaw's not out there, even if it's just a few snaps?
Yeah, maybe for this week at least. You're talking about a bit more for Alex Singleton. You're asking him to do more. Certainly he's come along, but then your depth is tested. You're already without Drew Sanders. You've got Karene Reed in there. I mean, he's your next backup, right? Your undrafted rookie who's stuck. I mean, you imagine Reed's going to get a jersey for this game. So here we go. Here's Vance Joseph on Thursday talking about where the Broncos stand at backup linebacker.
I think you're always prepared, Mike, for your guys to step up and play, any position, linebacker, safety, corner. It's early in the week, but every single week, every guy on our roster, practice squad included, has to be ready to play, so no worries there. Dre's working hard, and we'll see what happens on Sunday, but we have guys who are capable.
Confidence there from Vance Joseph.
Yeah, that's what you expect the coach to say. I mean,
right.
What do you expect him to go up there and say? Oh, we're screwed.
It's disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hilarious if a coach went up there and just said, we're bleeped.
I was in the pool.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the Costanza moment would be nice at the podium, but, it's okay if we don't get one of those.
Yeah, you're not going to do that. I mean, if a coach did get up there and do that, you'd probably say he probably shouldn't be your coordinator, your head coach, right? I mean,
right. Well, and Vance Joseph is a future head coach.
Such thing as too much honesty, yes. I would say. I mean, honesty is good, but you probably don't want to have too much honesty. So
right. And on Saturday, we'll get into the game plan thing about VJ maybe being a little too honest on his Cam Ward answer. That's for Saturday's show. We'll get.
It's a long answer, by the way. We went on for a full minute about Cam Ward, but remember there were a couple of times last year where VJ probably said too much. Remember the Baltimore week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've noticed, and I'll blame myself a couple of times on my questions, so he'll reveal something, but I think it's cool. Yeah. Love talking ball with VJ. Again, we'll discuss more on Saturday, about halfway through today's show, which means we need to hear a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode of Orange and Blue Today is presented by Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Ramos Law was founded by Dr. Joseph Ramos, an attorney and ER doctor, to provide exceptional care to those injured in accidents. With a unique understanding of both medicine and law, the Ramos Law team is built to fight for you every step of the way. Experience the Ramos Law difference. Contact them today at ramoslaw.com.
Yeah, the bad news is this is a 16 to 18 minute show today. The good news is you got a show coming on Saturday.
Right.
See, we're at the regular season now, which means this is a 7-day-a-week show because, of course, we got UC's handling the post-game show. So
Right. 7 days of OBT.
yeah.
I like it. Yeah, so we'll be a little bit abbreviated on Friday, and we got that YouTube game coming up tonight with Chiefs and Chargers in Brazil. But without Malcolm Roach, does that mean Savion Jones gets a jersey? As we look at that defensive line being very talented and very thick.
Or is it a Wazirike?
In this matchup, I might go with the Wazirike.
Yeah. Do you want do you want the more experienced guy and also the guy who's done a bit more at nose, perhaps?
Yes.
That would probably be a Wazirike, the guy that, of course, DJ Jones was talking about him basically being an immovable object at nose when he got in there. So we're fixing to find out. But also a game where when you're going against a team in the Tennessee Titans that may want to get the run game going to support Cam Ward, this might be a game where it's all hands on deck, at least all healthy hands on deck, playing. I mean, this might have been a game, Cease, where you had 6 defensive linemen active anyway. And if Malcolm Roach were healthy, there would have been 1 of the 7 inactive. So this may be a case where just everyone who's healthy gets up. This might have been a heavy D-line game anyway, so that would mean Savion Jones and Annie and Jordan Jackson all get jerseys for this game. I'd say definitely Jordan Jackson's up, and that's a question of Jones or Wazirike if you go with 5, but wouldn't surprise me at all, Cease, if they've got 6 guys that are playing on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm playing on Sunday against that rookie quarterback in this Titans team, and we'll see. Again, we'll get more into the game plan, but the news of Friday is no Greenlaw, no Roach. And Tillman, though, was a full participant, correct?
Yeah, the hamstring didn't turn out to be bad at all. You're always a little nervous about that, but everything came out clean. He was full practice on Friday. Yeah, but we're talking with Malcolm Roach, you're talking a grade 2 calf strain. So, that's unfortunately usually that type of calf strain is you're talking about weeks, not days. So that's something that is a concern. And you might be without Malcolm Roach for a while. And we may get an answer on that as soon as Saturday, because if, let's say with Malcolm Roach, you think he might be down for 4 weeks, perhaps. If you want him back in 4 weeks, you'd want to get him on injured reserve by Saturday afternoon. So that's something to keep an eye on as you look for moves, because we will see at least one roster move Saturday afternoon, because we're going to see Adam Prentice in all likelihood elevated from the practice squad to the active roster for week 1, because of course Nate Adkins, who could end up being the primary fullback once he gets healthy, Nate Adkins already ruled out for this game. So we'll get that roster move. We'll see if there are any others to come with that, including if they decide to put Malcolm Roach on IR. That's something to potentially keep an eye on. And with Dre Greenlaw, what if they decide to stick him on IR for a few weeks? That's something that those of us in the beat writer corps, we were speculating a little bit about as we were walking away from the facility today. Or walking, kind of muttering to ourselves. That's something that possibly could be in the cards here, given that Sean Payton has said, hey, we're going to play the long game with Dre Greenlaw. We're focused on the season here. He was out there on Monday, and then he wasn't out there on Wednesday. He out there on Monday, side field Wednesday, side field Thursday. So it's okay. And Sean Payton won't talk about this, of course.
Right.
That's his thing. He reiterated today, not talking about injuries. The only thing that he wants to keep and he'll talk about everything else. He was talking for 17 plus minutes today at his press conference. He, talked on, went on and on about Nick Benito, for example, because of course Benito signed his contract Thursday, so this was the first chance to ask Sean about it afterward. But you process of elimination. You know, Dre was out there the last 2 weeks of the preseason, you know, leading into the Saints game, and then the week after, he was out there doing everything in practice. And then we saw him out in practice on Monday when we went out there, saw the first periods of practice, and took attendance. He was still out there then. And then Wednesday he was DMP. Thursday he was DMP. So process of elimination would seem like something happened on Monday. Right? I mean, if you just, you know, it's one of the, what was it that Sherlock Holmes said, if you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. Like, if you're just kind of putting things together here, and it would seem, in all likelihood, something happened Monday that changed something, because it was all one thing, and then after Monday, it was something different. So.
Week one, and the depth is already tested.
Yes, week one, the depth is already tested, and, well, I mean, Sean Payton was talking a lot about the Broncos' methodologies and certainly expecting better results. And look, if there's a big question, I mean, it was asked of me a few days ago, what do I think the biggest question about the Broncos is this year? And I actually said, I think the big question is, as a collective for their big free agent pickups, Greenlaw, Hufanga, Dobbins, Ingram. Now, Ingram doesn't have the injury history, but he did miss nearly half the season last year. So all of these players, you're talking about some level of injury concern. So you could also say that that's a reason why they were available to the Broncos in the first place. Certainly with Greenlaw and Hufanga, if they had stayed healthy, I think they're still 49ers today. There's a very good chance of that. So the Broncos believe in their methodology to get better results. But they have basically said, these four guys, we're counting on our way of doing things to get better results, to keep all these guys healthy. Well, we'll find out. They've been the least injured team in football the last 2 seasons. And certainly the way they do things in terms of training and nutrition has helped. But regression to the mean can be a thing, even if you are ahead of the curve. And I mean, now here we're sitting here today, we're talking about a couple of soft tissue injuries that are going to leave some key players absent on Sunday, including one of those guys who came in with an injury history. So It's just something to watch over the course of the year.
And of those 4 players, 4 times 17 is what, 68?
Yes.
Is my math right? Okay, so
I didn't even need an abacus.
I'm going to take 50. If I can get 50 games from those 4 players, I'm fine. I think that's fair.
So that's 12.5 per. That's
pretty healthy.
That is. That's pretty good. I'd say I'd be satisfied with that as well, especially when you're talking about one of those players, J.K. Dobbins, literally being a player who's missed more games than he's played in the 5 previous years of his career. Now, last year was a very good year for him in that regard and staying healthy. But, yeah, I would take 50.
We are fixing to find out.
Indeed.
Saturday show coming up, Sunday post-game show, 7 days of OBT during the regular season, and we are here for you. We ask for your love, and we ask for a few things on YouTube, Mase. What are those things?
Like,
comment,
share,
subscribe,
hit that notification bell,
so that you
never
miss a vid. That's right. He is Andrew Mason. You follow him on all the socials at Mase Denver. I'm at Cecil and Mase saying OBT's BFD. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and stay frosty.